And when I say pain, I mean anything that is outside of what you already know, think, believe, or already doing. Your brain does not like change. Change equals pain. So when you're trying to do something for yourself, you're trying to step into the whole full embodiment of who you are, it might be a bit hard, right? It might be a bit of a struggle. It might be something that you might at some points tell yourself that you can't even do. But I assure you that you absolutely can. The first step is recognizing, though, that you have to give yourself ease and grace because your brain that does love you and is trying to protect you is not working against you. You do not have to kill, right? Everybody's talking about killing this ego and all this stuff. You don't have to kill any part of yourself. You just have to know, first of all, consciously, that you're going to give yourself ease and grace while trying to make a change. Two, know that you have certain goals that you would like to achieve. Decide what those goals are and maybe start with one at a time to keep that ease and grace. Three, get support if it's something that you're finding that you can't do alone. As human beings on this earth, one thing that not only are we often in fear of, but is a part of the human experience is not being able to do everything perfectly and also not being here meant to do everything by yourself. So if you find that you are unhappy with the way your life is, you know there's more for you. You are tired of lying to yourself and sitting in numbing energy, not happy, not sad, successful on the outside, but in your heart, knowing that there is so much more that you desire and that you deserve, then allow yourself the self-care of actually receiving it. So if you don't know me, my name is Empress Joy. I have been a dominatrix and hypnotist for over a decade. I actually now work more in my passion of helping women stand in the wholeness and the fullness of who they are and releasing, shaking off the years of programming that they have not only been under, but in some points feel like they're addicted to just because of how the brain works and how the emotions have been connected to it. And I not only have ways that I am so excited about in our group that we have just upgraded to support you on this journey, but also am going to be a part of a retreat happening in November here in Tulum. That if you find that you are a woman looking to embody the next level of who you are, to step into your authentic energy, want to be with some powerhouse women and make a transformation, then leave something in the comments and I'll make sure to send you a link so you can get more information on any of those things. But today, this quick message was really just to let you know that yes, what you are used to is your comfort zone. It is the pleasure to your brain. The next place where you are moving to is pain to your brain. So it does not mean that you are meant to stay where you are. It just means that you might need a little more help getting to the other side of where you are to where you actually want to be. So I'll just tell you, just from myself, of being a dominatrix, being a hypnotist, being a little bit of a black sheep, if you will, that even a weirdo, okay, we love weird around here, to know that ultimately the power is in you. And if and when you are ready to make a change, it is in that moment that a change is made. I know we hear everywhere all about healing and all about healing that everybody's doing for all of their life. I assure you that is a trap, right? There is not even that, like, we'll get into that inside of the groups, okay? Either in the Unleashed group or the Nice Girl Rehab, probably both, right? At different levels. But Just know that if there is something else that you desire to have in your life, another way of being that you would like to create right now, as that is the only time that you have, no past, no present, just now, just a bunch of nows, is the time where you can make that change. And you were never meant to do it alone. So instead of feeling fear, guilt, or shame, or even that vulnerability that comes from asking for help, know that that is the way this system was designed. That is why there are many of us with different gifts and talents and skills that we come together to collaborate with once we get past the competition and the comparison, and we actually move into the perfection that is each and every individual of us. We recognize that there are areas where we could use support, and there are areas where we support others. So just know that whether it is you releasing, shaking the habit of this good girl drug, nice girl drug, or if you are ready to move even further, because you have already started to move past the place of putting everyone before you. You've already started to move past the releasing guilt, releasing shame, releasing fear, and giving time and energy and self-care, true self-care to yourself. Then you might be ready for the next level, which is unleashing and living, embodying in that dominatrix that is inside of every single woman. Now, whichever path is best for you works fine with me. It is just in my heart and my soul and my journey to be able to support those who are called to me. And what I have been shaken up and realizing in this beautiful eclipse energy is that I do have to give more of myself to you. I do have to give more of myself out to all those in the world and make myself findable, so that if you are one of the ones who I am meant to be in support of, that you can find me. So at unleashmydominatrix.com, if you would like to know about those good girl habits that are costing you bigger than you can imagine, and nicegirlrehab.com, if you are ready to get rid of this habit, okay, that is worse than drugs, if you ask me, this addiction, because it leaves you suffering, it leaves you unhappy, it leaves you in pieces instead of peace. And that is the last place that you were meant to live this life. So let every lesson, every challenge, every obstacle that has been in your life, in your way up until this moment, be your stepping stone to get you into the fullness, the wholeness, the authentic, perfect version of who you were put on this earth to be. And if you want more information on that retreat, reach out to me as well. And if you don't know, I'm also Enlightened Dominatrix on Instagram, where I'll be spending a little bit more time as well, while I am making sure that I am allowing myself to truly use my gifts, use my medicine, and do what I was put on this earth to do. And that is to support. That is to help women liberate themselves. That is to help remind you that not only are you free, not only are you whole, not only are you everything you were ever meant to be, but that there's also other levels. And as we continue to rise to those levels, we continue to do it together. For now, peace and love.